Now that we've gotten through the entire presentation in terms of just the terminology and looking at our little perfect market, seeing what makes the market makers move, what has them staying at the prices that they're at or moving from prices that they're at, let's just now take a live look at some level 2. So I'm just going to pull up just random quotes and we're going to watch them. I'll try to describe what's going on. This is all unscripted. I obviously have no idea what's going to happen in real time. Just a reminder though, you may think this is impossible to understand and see what is going on, but that is the idea for sure. I want it to be super fast. We're going to slow down your reaction speed by speeding up the learning scenario. I might pull up a couple pennies as the more I thought about it, just to kind of show the big difference between the fast and the slow. But if you want to get really good and want to really understand what's going on, I would start fast and then work your way back down. Yeah, maybe the more I thought about it, it's one of those things where everybody learns a little bit different. So I don't want to just say, hey, we're going to go completely fast and work your way down, because maybe for some of you, looking slow and then building up to fast, that may be better. So we are going to look at a couple penny stocks after I've kind of given this some more thought through putting together the presentation. But regardless, all unscripted. We're going to look at some fast pace and then a couple little slow pace ones. And we're just gonna, we're not gonna talk about entry strategies or how to monitor risk or anything like that. That comes later on in the course. But I just want you to see how these actually interact now, actually moving. We've just looked at static screenshots, so this will give us a more realistic view on things. So here we are looking at Facebook, and let's just go through things here as things move around. Again, don't freak out, because yeah, things are moving actually relatively slow right now for Facebook. Usually it moves faster than this, but let's just break things down. So over here we have the people out in the crowd, otherwise known as the bid. So these are the people that are partially motivated. They want shares, but they're not quite willing to buy from the people up on stage. So who's on stage? Well, we have these people. They are the ones up on stage. They are the sellers. So again, over here we have the bid. Over here we have the ask in terms of our trading terminology. Again, people out in the crowd, people up on stage, both parties partially motivated. Why are they partially motivated? Well, they obviously want some stock because they're putting their money where their mouth is and they're showing up on level 2s, but they're just either sitting out in the crowd or sitting up on the stage. They're not willing to just freely sell. Now, if one of them does decide to freely sell, these people can sell out into the crowd, which is the bid. Conversely, if the people out in the audience lose a little patience and say, you know what, I just want stock, then they can purchase from whatever the best offer is. So let's talk about the best offer inside bid. So right now the inside bid is what? If you look at it, what is the inside bid? If you said 60.78, good job. Why is that the case? Well, that is just simply the most the people. Now what just happened there? What's the inside bid now? 60.75. See what I mean about it changing? That just means that the people now it's 60.74. So the people out in the crowd, the most anybody in the crowd is willing to pay right now is 60.74. Now it's 60.73. Let's watch some more. So remember, right now the auctioneer's, hey, I'll give you 35. I got you 35. I'll go to the table. He's talking. So right now, best out in the crowd is 60.73. You can see it's been there for a while. So people out in the crowd, they're buying at 60.73. They're still willing to. Now what happened? Now people are willing to buy 60.79 out in the crowd. So in that short amount of time, the people in the audience, now they're willing to pay 60.80 out in the crowd. Now let's hop over and look at what people are willing to sell up on stage. Right now, the inside ask is what? Okay, let me ask again. The inside ask is what? If you said 60.83, now it's 60.84, you're right. What's the inside ask now? Okay, just missed that. So, anyways, 60.83, best offer. So now it's 84. So the people up on stage, you can see a lot of people selling at 60.85. Now the best offer is, so remember the line, the people sitting in line. People are continually cutting in front of one another, or people are selling out there. So now 60.86 is the most people are willing to sell on stage. 83. You see how fast this is? And like I said, penny stocks, much, much slower than this. So when you look at that, and you'll see what I mean, but 70, now it's going back down, 79, 78. So that's just continually what's going on here. These are the people up on stage. Now, here are the representatives. Here are the market makers. Now, this is a big board stock, so the majority of these are ECNs, but for our sake, the MMs. Now, do we know who's controlling the MMs? No, we don't know if it's Grandma. We don't know if it's Slick Willie. We don't know if it's the River Van Trader. We don't know any of that, but we know that people are interested in buying at this price, and these are the representatives that are representing them. So over here are the representatives, the market makers for the bid. Here are the representatives for the ask, the people that are going to the auction for the actual sellers, and they just want to try to pick up some or sell some shares up on the ask. Now, let's talk about the tape over here. Do you see all the different colors here going on? So green, what does green mean? Green means that somebody from the audience bought it from somebody up on stage. Red means somebody from the stage sold it to somebody out in the audience. Or what could possibly be going on here? It may mean that somebody on the outside is now just buying from somebody on, let's see, what green. So looking at the tape, let's figure out what has exactly happened. So 68 red, what does that mean? It means somebody hit the bid over here. So it was somebody that was either sitting on the ask and sold it out there, or somebody that was super motivated from the beginning. They were never partially motivated. So they just got to their computer and said, I'm selling it out to the people in the audience. Are we ever really going to know if somebody from the stage sold it out to somebody in the crowd? Possibly, and we'll cover that later on. But that's one thing, to keep an eye on, is you never really know for sure. Yeah, you can sometimes gauge, especially in our perfect little market that we had, but other times you're never really going to know. It doesn't really matter though. It doesn't matter. But it's one of those things where if you watch close enough, especially on the slower mover ones, you can try to kind of put those pieces together. So let's just keep looking at the tape. Green, that means ass slap here. Let's start to use some lingo. Bid whacking. And maybe you're wondering, how can it be an ass slap at 69 and then a bid whack at a higher price? Well, that's just how the auction operated. That's just how fast big boards can be. So bid whacking at 69, knocked out all those sellers in 68. Now 69 is to where people are on the ask. So more 69. So now people are up on the stage at 74, 72. So these are just, here's the record of all the deals right now. So you can see a 2 there, the add 20, that was 200 shares at 60.73. There was a big one, 30, so add 2. So 3,000 shares right there at 60.73. 10, so that was 10 or 1,000. Here's 1,800 shares. Here's a bunch of 100 share lots. So let's watch the tape, see if we can find any more bigger type transactions. So just more 100s. These are all bid whacks here, because how do I know that? Well, they're red. Okay, 26 right there. So that was 2,600, 2,500 share bid whack. Some more bid whacks. So a lot of bid whacking going on right now. That's why I'm a big fan of the colors over here, because you can quickly see what's going on. Lots of bid whacks. Okay, now we got some green here. Yeah, you see green boxes. Just know that green is ass slapping, red is bid whacking. That's the easiest way to not overcomplicate things. So these non-colored ones, these are just going on between the bid and the ask. So those are kind of like almost little secret deals if you want to look at them like that. Okay, a bunch of ass slapping there. 13, so 1,300 shares. There's a 1,000 share order. So you get the point. The tape is showing us all the deals, all the agreements that are being made, and it's happening very quickly here. But that is just a big board stock. So let's have a little quiz. I'll pause real quick in terms of my voice, and that way it gives you time to pause the video if you want. Let me just ask some questions here. So over here on this side of things is what? If you said the bid, where the buyers are hanging out, where the demand is, where the people are feeling bullish, good job. Over here is what? Okay, if you said where the sellers are, the ask, where people are wanting to sell, so the supply or bearishness, then you are correct. Because remember, you're not selling your stocks unless you're bearish on it and you think that it's a good time to sell. So you may not be bearish on it overall, but within the context of this auction, people that are over here are bearish because they think this is a good price to sell. So that's where everybody's hanging out here. Now, who are these right here? I will pause again. If you said the market makers or the ECNs or the representatives or the puppets or whatever, the people that are representing us that wanting to buy, good job. Over here, flip side, same thing, except they're just representing the people who want to what? If you're saying sell, good job. Exactly. That's what these market makers are doing over here. And they're just jumping all around because at the auction, very high paced. So let's just bring up Twitter. So here, a little bit different here. What do you notice? Well, first, different price. So the security here, Twitter, what the stock that they're talking about. Different price. So that's the first thing. How do we notice that? Well, we just look at what the audience is willing to buy and sell for. You look at the market makers, not as many. You also see that it's moving still pretty fast, but I wouldn't say it's moving as fast as Facebook. But right now, so what are the people out in the audience willing to pay? You said $38.99. Good job. What about the people up on stage? What are they willing to sell for right now? Whoa, that moved fast. Let's try that question again. The people up on stage, what are they willing to sell for? If you said 96 right here, good job. This is known as the bid. This is known as the ask. Hopefully I'm starting to get annoying to you because you understand that, but I want to drive this stuff home. Let's look over on the tape. So what are these red things? These are bid whacks. These green orders here, these are ass slaps. What are these? Bid whacks, it's red. There's a little secret deal for 2,500 shares at $38.97 after some ass slaps there. As you can see, deals are still coming through, but it kind of got to wait a little bit, so it's not super fast. So we'll see, waiting. When's the next deal going to happen here? There we go. So some secret deals here happening at $38.99. Still, like I said, good size order right there at 25. The add to zero rule, so that's actually 2,500. So 39. Now it's 97. Some more bid whacks over here for 200 shares, 300 shares, 100 shares. These letters, I have no idea what those mean, to be honest with you, so I don't really care. They're probably some sort of transaction. There, look at that big order, 4,000 shares, secret deal. Secret deal being just happens in between the bid and the ask. Again, I want to reiterate that. More ass slaps here at 94 and then 95. Now 95 is considered bid whacking. Now 94 is considered bid whacking. So the tape there, but again, just showing us the market. Not too many people up on the ask right now. Only one at 95. Well, that changed, but there was one at 95. Now there's four at 95. I love how it moves so fast. Still four sellers at 95 up on stage. 2 in the audience at 93. Look at all the people in the audience at 92 right now. 3 at 9 now. 3 now. I feel like an auctioneer now. What is that? 4 at 96 up on stage. 3 at 94 out in the audience. Now 4. Now 2. Now 3 in the 4, 5 in the audience. 4 in the audience. 3 in the audience at 94. That is obviously there's a lot more in the audience, but the crowd, the depth of the market, the depth of the crowd. That's what that's showing us. But right now I'm just trying to count the best bid, the inside bid. So what is that? 7 at 93. 6 at 94, 7 at 94. I'm kind of just guessing there, but only 3 at 98, 3 at 99, 1 at 39.01, 3 at 39.02, 1 at 39.03, 1 at 39.06. That's changing. So hopefully you're getting the bid here. That's all it's showing us is how many people are on stage, how many people are out in the crowd, and at what prices, where are they at in their crowd. The better bid they have out in the crowd, the closer they are to the front row. So these people are all in the front row here. 5 people sitting there at 92 front row in the crowd. 5 people sitting here, up on stage, all at that podium, trying to sell at 94. So let's pull up another one here. All right, so here's a penny stock here, and as you can see, let's just pause here. Oh, there's a little movement right there. Okay, let's just kind of hanging out. You see what I mean now? Isn't this much easier to see? Oh, there's a little movement. But let's go through this now. And, like I said, when you go up and pull up your penny stocks, level 2s, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, this is much easier to see. So who is out in the audience right now? We have all these bids. There is one person right now out in the audience that's willing to pay 6.6251. Now he's willing to pay, or somebody else is willing to pay 0.6252 out in the audience. A couple people down here willing to pay 62.5 exactly. Then somebody else willing to pay 0.6246. What about who's up on stage? Well, there's 2 people up on stage, 2 sellers who are willing to sell at the same price of 62.53, right up there. Then there's one more person at 62.54 that's willing to sell. Then after that, next person isn't willing to sell until 62.86. Progress over here on the bid. Now you have somebody that's willing to pay 62.52. You can see how many shares they want. Add to, so this person wants 100 shares right here. This person wants 1,100 shares. Right here, 5,000 shares they'd want down at 0.621. The tape over here, we're going to have to be a little bit more patient because there's just not that many deals going on in this one. Yeah, there's some deals, but it's not like it's the deal flow of Facebook or Twitter that we've looked at. So since I've been talking, I don't even know if any deals have gone through, but I'll keep talking and keep your eyes over here at the same time. That way, we'll try to catch some deals. But if we sit here and wait, this video may stretch out 10 minutes just sitting here waiting for a deal to show up. So again, people on stage over here, the ask, the bid. So the bid equals where demand is. If we want to talk economical terms, the ask equals where supply is. So demand versus supply. So that's what that's all about. Okay, now we have some movement here. So there's 3 people now that want to sell up at 0.6253. Now there's 4 people that want to buy at 62.52. Now only 2 people that want to sell at 62.50. There we go. There's some deals. So we're having some ass slapping here. Some people are buying from the people up on stage. Whether or not it's the people out in the crowd, don't necessarily know. Could just be people that have been, super motivated from the beginning. But point being, they're buying from people up there. We have a bid whack. So somebody either up on stage or somebody that, was never represented in the market decided, you know what, I'm just going to sell it to the people out in the crowd. And that's why it showed up red. So that was a bid whack. So there we caught some deals here. That is good. Let's pull up another one. Okay, so here's another one. We have, let's just, let me ask you this. How many people, what is the best inside bid? What is the best inside ask? If you said right here at 0.441 is the best inside bid, correct. If you said there's 2 people up at the best ask who want to sell at 0.4428, you are correct. Once again, bid equals demand. Well, that was a bad D. Ask equals supply. Over here on the deal, you can see, well, look at this. We had some big old deals happening, though. Add 2 0 rule. So what is that? 11,700 shares here. 24,900. I bet this was a 25,000 share order, and one of these other ones surrounding, I bet that belongs with that order. It was probably just cut up. So a good little example there of sometimes orders. I mean, somebody buying 24,900. If they're buying that many, I'm sure they're just buying a nice round number of 25,000. So, like I said, I don't know for sure, but I think it's pretty logical to assume that one of these ones surrounding this order probably belonged with it, and that was just a 25,000 share order. But again, as you can see, the tape, very slow, kind of like watching paint dry. But as you'll see as we go through the video, this will be nice because it'll be much easier to just analyze and figure out where a risk is and where it isn't. So let's pull up another one. Let's go to Apple here. So here's Apple. Right now you can see, well, it just changed. You can tell we're back on a big board, but we have 4 people, 1 person up at 4. Do you see? You get the point now. I'm gonna stop. Let's look at the spread though. What's the spread? Notice how the spread's pretty bigger, or is a lot bigger, and we're talking. We're right now a 9-cent spread. Usually it's even bigger than that. 1 cent spread. That doesn't, but it lasted for not even a half second. So 6-cent spread. Remember what the spread is. Spread is best ask minus the best bid. So 53, 4 people at 2 people at 50. You get the point. I just can't talk up with it, but these are just showing how many people add each other. So 4 people at 10. There we go. 2 people at 10. Wow, I got to talk fast. 1 person at 97. 3 people at 07. 1 person at 02. 2 people at 05. 1 person at 02. 2 people at 05. 2 people at 03. 1 person at 03. So that's all it's showing us is how many people are up on stage and at what price are they wanting to sell at. How many people are out in the audience at a particular... So right now, front row has 4 people in it, all wanting 91. Front row now has 1 person in it wanting 90. Nope, now back to 4 people at 94. 1 person in the front row at 95. 1 person at 96. 2 people at 96. 1 person at 2 people at 96. So hopefully you get the point. That's all level 2 is showing us. Buyers, sellers, bid, ask, demand, supply, bullish, bearish. That's what's going on here, and that's what we're going to keep on focusing on. But I wanted to get this just out of the way here so you can see what this stuff actually looks like in real time. Again, much faster on the big boards, but when we looked at those penny stocks, you saw that they were much more easier to see and just kind of visualize how many people up on stage and at what price they were willing to sell at or buy at. So that's just, we'll take a look at some more live ones later on in the course when we get a little bit more advanced in our construction of and build more on top of our foundation. But I just want to get our feet wet a little bit here and look at some of these.